Hello friends, and a very warm welcome to my channel, Global Flyer. It's great to have you here. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that has made headlines all over the world, the Boeing 737 MAX series. This aircraft is the fourth generation of the iconic Boeing 737, which has been a workhorse of the skies for decades. We're going to cover its entire journey, from its ambitious beginnings to the challenges it faced and its eventual return to service. It's a story of innovation, tragedy, and resilience. So buckle up as we explore the complete history of the Boeing 737 MAX. Let's start from the very beginning. The story of the 737 MAX begins in the early 2010s. At the time, Boeing was facing intense competition from its main rival Airbus, which had just launched the A320neo family. The Neo stands for New Engine Option, and it promised significant fuel savings for airlines. To counter this, Boeing had a big decision to make. Design an entirely new single-aisle aircraft or update the existing, incredibly successful 737 platform. Designing a new plane would take years and billions of dollars. So, in August 2011, Boeing's board of directors approved the 737 MAX program. The goal was to re-engine the 737 with more efficient CFM International LEAP-1B engines, promising airlines a 14% fuel burn improvement over the then-current 737 next-generation models. The race was on. With the program officially launched, production began swiftly. The first 737 MAX, a MAX 8, rolled out of the factory in Renton, Washington, on December 8, 2015. This was a major milestone, and the aircraft was painted in a special livery to celebrate. The first flight took place just over a month later, on January 29, 2016. This kicked off an intensive flight testing and certification program. Boeing needed to prove to regulators, like the FAA in the United States and EASA in Europe, that the new aircraft was safe and met all required standards. The flight test campaign involved several aircraft flying thousands of hours, pushing the plane to its limits in various conditions to gather data and ensure its reliability. In March 2017, the FAA certified the 737 MAX, clearing the path for it to start flying passengers. The big moment arrived on May 22, 2017, when Melendo Air, a subsidiary of Indonesia's Lion Air, became the first airline to put the 737 MAX into commercial service. Airlines around the world were excited. They had placed thousands of orders for the MAX, drawn by its promised efficiency and the seamless transition for pilots already trained on older 737s. For a while, everything seemed to be going smoothly. The MAX was being delivered to airlines globally and was praised for its quiet cabin and fuel savings. It looked like another major success for Boeing. However, this period of optimism would soon come to a tragic and abrupt end, leading to one of the most challenging chapters in aviation history. On October 29, 2018, Lion Air Flight 610, a brand new Boeing 737 MAX-8, crashed into the Java Sea just 13 minutes after takeoff, tragically killing all 189 people on board. Just a few months later, on March 10, 2019, another new 737 MAX-8, operating as Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, crashed shortly after takeoff from Addis Ababa, killing all 157 people on board. Two fatal crashes involving the same new aircraft model in less than 5 months set off alarm bells across the globe. Investigators quickly focused on a new flight control system called the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAs, within days of the second crash. Aviation authorities worldwide took the unprecedented step of grounding the entire global fleet of 737 MAX aircraft. This was the start of a 20-month-long grounding, the longest ever for a modern airliner. The grounding was a massive blow to Boeing Airlines and the traveling public. Boeing's production lines, which were churning out MAX jets, had to slow down significantly. With hundreds of completed planes parked and unable to be delivered, the company eventually decided to suspend production altogether in January 2020. This had a huge ripple effect, impacting thousands of jobs and suppliers across the aerospace industry. Meanwhile, Boeing engineers and regulators worked tirelessly to understand what went wrong and to develop a fix. The investigation revealed that MCAs, which was designed to make the MAX handle like older 737s, could be activated by a single faulty sensor, pushing the nose of the plane down repeatedly without the pilots being able to counteract it. The solution involved a major software update to MCA's changes to flight control computers and new pilot training procedures. After extensive reviews, simulator tests, and certification flights involving regulators from around the world, the FAA was the first to clear the 737 MAX to fly again in November 2020. Other regulators like EASA, Transport Canada, and the Civil Aviation Administration of China followed suit over the next year. But recertification was just the first step. Boeing and the airlines faced the monumental task of getting the hundreds of grounded aircraft ready to fly again. This involved installing the new software, performing detailed maintenance checks, and retraining thousands of pilots on the new procedures. The return to service has been a gradual process, with airlines slowly reintroducing the MAX into their schedules and working to rebuild public confidence in the aircraft. So, what exactly made the MAX different from its predecessors? The most significant changes were aerodynamic. The new LEAP-1B engines are much larger and more fuel efficient than the engines on previous 737s. To fit them under the low wing of the 737, Boeing had to mount them higher and further forward. This change altered the aircraft's aerodynamics, creating a tendency for the nose to pitch up in certain flight conditions. This is why MCAS was created to automatically push the nose down to counteract this tendency and make the MAX feel just like an older 737 to fly. It was a software solution to an aerodynamic challenge. Beyond the engines and MCAS, there were other structural and system changes. To support the larger engines, the wings were strengthened. The MAX also features new split-scimitar winglets as standard, which further improve fuel efficiency by reducing drag. In the cockpit, the MAX boasts 4 large new-generation display screens from Rockwell Collins, providing pilots with more information in a clearer format. Other minor changes included a redesigned tail cone and updated electronic systems, all contributing to making the MAX a more modern and efficient aircraft, but it was the software that proved to be its Achilles heel. Looking at its operational history, the 737 MAX has had a turbulent journey. Before the grounding, it was being adopted quickly by airlines for its economic advantages. Post-grounding, its re-entry into service has been largely successful from a technical standpoint, with millions of flight hours completed safely. However, the saga has had a lasting impact. It has led to increased scrutiny of aircraft certification processes worldwide and has put a significant dent in Boeing's reputation and finances. The story of the 737 MAX serves as a powerful lesson in aviation safety, highlighting the critical importance of transparency, rigorous testing, and placing safety above all else. Finally, let's briefly touch on the different versions or variants of the 737 MAX. Boeing developed a family of aircraft to meet different airline needs. The lineup includes the MAX 7, which is the smallest, the MAX 8, the most popular version, and the one involved in the 2 accidents. The MAX 200, a high-density version of the MAX 8 for low-cost carriers. The MAX 9A stretched version of the MAX 8, and the MAX 10, the largest member of the family, designed to compete directly with the Airbus A321neo. Each of these variants offers a different balance of range and passenger capacity. That's a comprehensive overview of the Boeing 737 MAX story so far. It's a complex and fascinating journey, and there's still so much more to discuss. In my next video, I'll be taking a closer look at each of the variants I just mentioned. We'll explore the specific details of the MAX 7, MAX 8, MAX 9, and MAX 10, what makes them unique, and which airlines are flying them. You won't want to miss it. Thank you so much for joining me on Global Flyer today. If you found this video interesting and informative, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when my next video is released. Until then, fly safe.